A lot of times when we get into fights with people and we just don't know like where the animosity might come from, like why does that person see it so differently from me? And a lot of times it's just that we have a different place that we're coming from, a different perspective. And so you're looking at it from the front, maybe I'm looking at it from the back, or you're looking at it from one side, I'm looking at it from another side, and I can't see your side. So I have to go to your side. I have to go to where you're looking at and see it from your point of view. And our point of view, my point of view as a believer in Jesus, comes from 1 Corinthians 6, verse 20. When it comes to things like sex, things like all this stuff that we're fighting over these days in our world. Yesterday on the follow through, we saw that you're not your own. That's what God clearly says to me. I am His. He loves me. I am His child. I am free to live and free to be that child and to make all kinds of different choices. But my heart's been changed and is being changed by God. I know that Jesus forgave me, died for me, rose for me. And so I want to kind of do my life in a way that's going to glorify Him. So again, I start from that place. That's my perspective. In fact, I really believe that's God's perspective, and I want to go with His take on life. He says, I am not my own. I was bought with a price. The blood of Jesus bought me back from sin, from slavery, from the clutches of the devil, from the deepest of darkness of death. Jesus bought me, paid the price, and said, you are now mine. And so Paul says, so glorify God in your body, because you've been shown a new way. We have a new way of living that honors God, that says, you know what, with my whole life, with everything that I do, I'm going to glorify Him. See, far too often we think of God and then we bring in the issue of sex, and we think those are two separate things. We think, oh, man, we shouldn't talk about that. You know, certainly not at church, certainly not a Christian video, man. But I think it needs to be talked about, because again, this informs it, man. I glorify Him in that act. So I'm going to wait till marriage, man. I'm going to wait till all of that. Now again, for many people, like there's just guilt and shame, man, because maybe that's not, you know, in your past what you went with, right? So many people, right? I did not have that growing up. I didn't have that philosophy. I didn't say, okay, well, this is a God-honoring thing. And I got to tell you, even for me, I'm still working through some of that. But God's got healing, man. He's got forgiveness. He's got love for you and for me. And He says, look, I got something so much bigger, so much better for you. I want you to have that. And so use these fighting words to say, you know what? No. I was bought with a price, and I'm going to glorify God in all that I say, all that I do, and all the different ways that I express myself, physically, emotionally, spiritually, sexually, in any way. It's going to be to glorify Him. So let's take that advantage of that, and let's do that every day. All right? We'll talk to you next time for another follow-through.